A shooting occurred this week, leaving one person in the hospital and the suspect on the loose. Also, the car that was vandalized with racist remarks last week has had its doors shut. We'll fill you in on what ended the case.
Stay tuned to find out why you might see some of these drones in your local community. All coming up on MHK All Day.
From KKSU LD at Kansas State University, serving Manhattan and the Flint Hills family. This is MHK All Day.
Welcome back to another episode of MHK All Day. I'm Isabel Lobby. Thank you for joining us today. Later in the show, we take a look at a veteran who has a message for all of us, and we give you an inside look at a local ice cream shop called Call Hall. To get even more MHK All Day, check us out on Twitter at MHK All Day. After last week's incident of the vandalized car, which sparked much local controversy, the Riley County Police Department has closed the case. The owner of the vehicle, Dontarius Williams, admitted to the investigators that he had put the graffiti on his own car as part of a Halloween prank that went out of hand. According to the press release from the RCPD, Williams expressed sincere regret and remorse about the whole situation. RCPD decided not to press any charges in the case. Now we'll take a look at a developing story on a shooting that occurred this Monday night near the University of Crossing Apartments, and how community members are reacting to these reports. On Monday night at approximately 4:20 p.m., a man was shot in an attempted aggravated robbery near the 2200 block of College Avenue, according to the Riley County Police Department. The RCPD sent out a tweet that night that said an adult male was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect is described as a black male 5'9" to 5'10" in height, with a medium to heavy build. He was described as wearing a black ski mask and a sweatshirt. According to the RCPD, the investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made regarding the incident at this point. With recent reports of threats of a shooting in Aggieville, break-ins, and other crime in the area, some students feel less safe than they have in previous years while in Manhattan. University Crossing resident Mary Sabatini said despite the recent shooting near her residence, she feels she is taking the necessary precautions to keep herself safe.
I mean, my roommate and I, we both have our concealed handgun licenses in the respective states that we're from, but we also keep pepper spray here. And so we feel pretty safe ourselves because we know how to handle the situation. And if somebody comes and tries to bang on the door, we're going to have our pepper spray ready and stuff. And I've never felt too terribly unsafe for in general, but it's when these isolated events happen where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening here.
K-State student Isabel Williams said she's been taking more precautions because of the recent crime reports as well.
Yeah, I would say now I stick in groups more with all my friends, and I make sure we all know where we are at all times so there's no one left behind and no one's just randomly missing. And we all communicate really well with each other to make sure that everyone's safe.
To help improve the safety at the University Crossing Apartments, Mary said that she thinks increasing the security would be beneficial.
But I definitely think that something that would make me feel more secure is just if they would install security cameras. Right now, the only thing that they have is at the clubhouse, which for me in this very back part of the community is completely far away and doesn't do anything because nothing's going to happen up there. If they had security cameras in each building, I think that would really make a lot of us feel better.
If you know any information about this shooting, the Riley County Police Department asks that you contact the RCPD at 785-537-2112 or Crime Stoppers at 785-539-7777. Last Monday night, on the eve of Election Day, students held debates discussing politics and how to best improve our communities.
We're at a time where most of our communication does not happen face-to-face, does not happen in person. It happens via Twitter, via some other social media, and so actually coming together and talking about issues will allow us to best have a discussion.
On Monday evening, students gathered at the Student Union of Kansas State University to discuss political issues at both the national and local levels.
The two sides came together to debate 3 issues. The first one was tax reform, the second one was healthcare, and the third one was police reform. And we went back and forth to have a dialogue about those issues. I would say it was pretty well engaging. Both sides equally had good points that they made, and we were each able to have a very civil dialogue, which I say was probably the point of this. And so it was very successful in that regard.
Realizing the amount of common ground that we have and the ability that we have to reach the best solution possible by talking with each other and conferring with each other. And that's what we saw here tonight, is that a lot of interesting ideas were thrown out and assumptions were challenged on both sides, and that's essential in creating the best policies and creating the best government.
Hubert Humphrey once said, "Freedom is hammered out on the anvil of discussion and debate. And it's talks like these that will one day, hopefully, improve the political atmosphere in our country." At the K-State Student Union, I'm Eric Manugian for MHK All Day.
Getting out there and actually talking about our differences can be difficult sometimes, but as these students showed, it can be done. Veterans Day is this Saturday. To remember what that day is all about, let's hear a story from a veteran that reporter Brittany Reed got to talk to.
With Veterans Day almost here, what better way to appreciate our troops than to hear one of their stories? Kyle Klofstad was in the Army for over 4 years as a combat engineer.
Out of all the places he was stationed at, the one he chose as his favorite might surprise you.
Oddly enough, Afghanistan. That was one of the few times that I was able to operate more efficiently and with less drama from leadership and less oversight. They were more lax on a lot of the rules, and overall it was just better for me.
Klofstad worked route clearance while he was there. That basically meant clearing the path of IEDs so that other units could go out and do their missions. One day, things didn't go according to plan.
It was a major company-wide route clearance mission. 2 platoons were supposed to clear through the Dal Pass. They were to meet up with the 3rd platoon at the target location, and then the next day they were supposed to clear from that location up through the secondary route back to the initial base. But that's not what happened. They got to the Dal Pass, they were ambushed, and what was originally supposed to be an 18-hour mission got turned into a 36-hour just stay there until they get tired and then push on. We had one guy they ended up having to send him back to Longstuhl because he got his leg busted up pretty bad in an IED, and then we had 2 other guys got sent back for miscellaneous head trauma.
Now that he's back in the U.S., Klofstad has decided to go back to school as a secondary education major at Kansas State. One thing people should know about veterans?
It would be nice if they understood that not all veterans are gun crazy nuts. That would definitely be a benefit.
In Manhattan, I'm Brittany Reed, MHK All Day.
I know that it can be easy for me to forget how much our troops sacrifice for us. The next time you meet a soldier, why not thank them for their service? Up next, we take a look at laws that can affect how drones are used and also at new technology that is being used in cars.
When I hear the phrase giving back,
it means an opportunity for me to do something for others.
Volunteering exposes you to different ways of life and different people around the world.
They teach you just as much as you teach them.
it allows you to understand the social issues that we face. The only people who can resolve those social issues is us, and that's starting with our community.
I think for me it means just really embodying what it means to be a part of that K-State family.
K-State athletics team with Courts for Kids, and we went to Costa Rica, a town called Leona Veja.
We went to Dallas to volunteer at Aid Services of Dallas.
I believe everybody should have education, and that's why I volunteer at a high school.
It's a family atmosphere, and we're here to take care of each other, and I think that K-State Proud and other things that students do really embody that family atmosphere that we've been taught since we got here.
What motivates Wildcats to give back?
Empathy.
Kindness.
You.
I'm Kathleen from Mining, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
President Donald Trump has introduced a plan that may let companies like Google and Amazon move more quickly to use drones for delivering items, ranging from diapers, tangerines, and shampoo, all to your doorstep. MHK All Day reporter Tyler Waymeyer has more.
The U.S. Department of Transportation and the Federal Aviation Administration, which oversees drones in the national airspace, released rules in August 2016 for how businesses can use drones for tasks like aerial photography or to monitor farms. However, many states and local governments have enacted their own drone rules that in many cases conflict with current FAA regulations. The Trump administration said last week that some local and state agencies, as well as tribal authorities, would help the federal government to create a set of drone regulations for commercial flights. Although the FAA has approved some companies to use drones just like this one to photograph property damage, for example, doing so could violate some owners' rights if the owner does not know their property is being filmed. This mismatch of local and federal drone rules, in addition to the hurdles to businesses obtaining FAA approval for commercial drone flights, has caused some companies like Amazon and Google to move their test flights to countries like the United Kingdom and Australia, where laws are more lax. The Trump administration's drone program is intended to make it easier for companies to test drones by having local authorities, tribal government, companies, and the federal government work together.
So, benefits are eyes on. We can now look at things, especially when we go to critical calls for service where it may not be safe to be looking with eyes on. We can now deploy a drone.
It is also designed to give businesses more flexibility to fly drones at night, beyond the sight of human operators and over people's heads, making drone delivery a reality. The Trump administration said in a statement, prospective local government participants should partner with the private sector to develop pilot proposals, but it did not say how those partnerships would function. Nevertheless, several organizations and companies that are interested in drones are pleased about the Trump administration initiative and the future of the drone industry. In Manhattan, I'm Tyler Waymeyer with MHK All Day.
Although the new drone program has debuted, that doesn't mean that the local authorities and the federal government won't butt heads. States are still free to enact their own drone laws regardless of Trump's new proposal. As new cars are being developed, so is the technology inside of them. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? MHK All Day reporter Maya Hodge has more.
The ordinary car has become more complex and tech-savvy over the past few years. Buying a car is a big purchase, and car companies are making their vehicles more competitive by continuously updating their infotainment systems. Newer cars like the 2015 Tesla Model S P85D comes equipped with an infotainment system that allows the driver to control audio playback, navigation, and in-car apps while behind the wheel. There are 3 varieties of connectivity that automakers are using for the in-dash apps: embedded, tethered, and hybrid. However, the tethered approach is what's preferred by most automakers with systems that feature Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The main reason for these updated infotainment systems is to help people in the driver's seat stay off their phones, with hopes to decrease accidents.
Really the best thing about the infotainment system, it's making vehicles a lot safer than what they used to be. It keeps a lot of distractions, at least at eye level, instead of being on your phone, and blocks out a lot of distractions as well.
Automakers are using the new technology in hopes that it will be beneficial for drivers. But does all this new technology become more of a distraction for drivers? Although the technology gets drivers' eyes off their phones while on the road, it draws their attention to the dashboard, which is still not a good place for their eyes to be while driving. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety conducted a study that shows the new infotainment systems takes drivers' eyes off the road and hands off the wheel for potentially dangerous periods of time. Out of the 30 systems they tested, 23 of them required high or very high levels of demand on drivers. Drivers using in-dash technology like voice-based and touchscreen features were visually and mentally distracted for more than 40 seconds while completing tasks like putting in destinations for navigation or replying to text messages. AAA organized the study in hopes to help automakers improve the functionality of the new infotainment systems and the demand they place on drivers. In Manhattan, I'm Maya Hodge, MHK All Day.
Those features look really cool and seem like they will come in handy for people driving those cars. Coming up, we take a look at how K-State students come together to help fundraise for a good cause.
What a coach, what a program. Oh, they give him the dunks. He gets number 200. Now he's going to throw far side. Jordy's got it against the lead 40. Here comes Lockett. Look out. He can move. He was drilled by Reggie Walker. On the field, perfect throw. Pringle down the sideline. Touchdown.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
On Wednesday, K-State students participated in a fundraiser in partnership with Chipotle. The students worked with the UFM Community Learning Center, a nonprofit organization that works to provide education to special needs adults. The profits from the fundraiser go to help the organization after a recent budget cut. MHK All Day reporter Grant Miller spoke to the director of the UFM about the work service they provide to the community.
This is a program that offers some enrichment education to special needs adults in our area. We have students that come as far as 70 or 80 miles away on a Saturday morning to participate in classes that we hold in the K-State Union.
The student radio station here on campus is tackling important issues around the Manhattan community with their Roundtable series. Grant Nicholson takes a closer look here for us.
KSDB FM 91.9, the Kansas State student radio station, held their latest installment of the Roundtable series, this time focusing on the newly created Center for Student Involvement.
Over the past year or so, KSDB has established the Roundtable series as an opportunity to take a closer look at some of the issues surrounding and involving the Manhattan community.
The Roundtable, which took place this Wednesday, featured influential members of the K-State community, including Student Body President Jack Ayers, Interfraternity Council President Lucas Renz, Campus Unity Project Representative Jacob Boyce, and the Associate Dean and Director of Student Life, Heather Reed. The Roundtable took a closer look at policy new to Kansas State this semester and how it has affected Kansas State clubs and programs.
that's one of the most important reasons why we're having this roundtable, is because there's so many different perspectives on it. There's the university's perspective, there's student leaders, and then there's also outside observers like myself. So long story short, this change occurred all of a sudden over the summer.
The Roundtable series is just one of the many ways KSDB is expanding their reach into the Manhattan community. The station also recently became an NBC News affiliate, allowing them to broadcast NBC newscasts at the top of every hour. For more information or to check out the complete Roundtable, go to ksdbfm.org. In Manhattan, Grant Nicholson, MHK All Day.
KSDB has several of their roundtable discussions up on their website, with one more planned later this semester. After the break, we are going to show you some desserts that you can enjoy here in town or back home for Thanksgiving.
What a coach, what a program. Oh, they give him the dunks. He gets number 200. Now he's going to throw far side. Jordy's got it against to lead 40. Here comes Lockett. Look out. He can move. He was drilled by Reggie Walker. On the field, perfect throw. Pringle down the sideline. Touchdown.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
Thanksgiving is a time for families to feast on yummy foods and desserts. Reporter Miriam Chamberlain has the dessert ideas that can bring you to the table, that you can bring to the table.
Thanks, Isabel. Fall is my favorite time of the year, and with Thanksgiving right around the corner, what better way is to finish off that Thanksgiving meal with some fun and creative desserts. Today, we look at 2 quick and easy desserts that will be a hit this holiday season. First, we have edible Oreo acorns. If you're like me, the combination of peanut butter and chocolate is perfect. This dessert consists of only 6 ingredients and will take approximately a total of an hour and a half to complete. You will just need 1 pack of peanut butter Oreos, an 8-ounce pack of cream cheese, making sure it's at room temperature before starting, 12 ounces of chocolate chips, 6 ounces of butterscotch or peanut butter chips, brown sprinkles, and lastly, pretzel sticks. You will need to crumble all the Oreos in the food processor until fine crumbs. Very well blend and soften the cream cheese and then the Oreos together. Then take a tablespoon of the mixture, shaping it into acorns. Place in the freezer for about an hour, and then after hardening, melt the chocolate and peanut butter chips. Dip each acorn, add sprinkles to the top of the acorn, and finally insert the pretzel. After they've all set, you'll have a bowl of Oreo acorns the whole family can enjoy. Next, we have these chocolate turtle apple slices. They are made up of thick slices of apples covered in melted chocolate, drizzled with caramel, and topped with nuts. All you need to do is make these turtle apple slices is 2 large apples, 3.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and a melted caramel, and lastly topped with pecans. To start off, you will have cut the slices into half, and then make sure to make a small slit at the bottom to insert the popsicle stick. Melt the chips and add the coconut oil. Mix well and dip the apple slices in. Place caramels in the bowl and microwave for about 45 to 60 seconds. Once stirred, you can then drizzle it over the top of the chocolate and then add the nuts as well. Refrigerate for about an hour and then it's finally time to serve. For an amazing finish to your holiday meal, this dessert won't disappoint. These are both 2 quick and easy recipes to make for this upcoming holiday. You'll be able to finish a wonderful holiday dinner with an even better dessert. And speaking of desserts, Call Hall has been a place locally that the community has thrived on. Reporter Raina Garcia got to learn more about their roots.
That's right, Miriam. The Call Hall Dairy Bar has been a staple of the K-State campus for decades. And although they're most known for their ice cream, what people may not know is the history of the Dairy Bar and what goes into making all the tasty treats the community enjoys.
It's considered a tradition for many K-State students, alumni, and members of the Manhattan community. The Dairy Bar originated in 1905 and has been serving fresh products all from the KSU farm units ever since. Dairy Bar manager Renee Westgate says that the experience customers get keeps them coming back just as much as the ice cream does.
The ice cream's good because that's generally why they're here. It's a happy memory. Call Hall brings back a lot of good memories for students. So that's when we have football games, that's who comes, and this is what they remember mostly is the Dairy Bar.
The Dairy Bar offers a wide array of products from milk, eggs, and cheese to its famous ice cream.
So what is it about Call Hall ice cream that makes it so special? Dairy plant manager Jared Parsons says it's the freshness and love for the product that makes it stand out from the rest.
We have really fresh product going into this ice cream mix that we're making. So smaller batches, fresher product, and most importantly, we put a lot of love into it.
While the Dairy Bar takes pride in providing the community with their locally made products, they also take pride in the memories the Dairy Bar creates.
We like it when somebody comes in or when you're downtown and somebody goes, "You look familiar," and then we'll say, "Probably," and they'll go, "Where do you work?" We'll say, "Dairy Bar," and "Oh yeah, the Dairy Bar, I love that place."
Call Hall will continue to serve students and the Manhattan community with the ice cream they know and love. In Manhattan, Raina Garcia, MHK All Day.
One of my favorite Call Hall flavors is chocolate chip cookie dough, and it was so cool to see how the ice cream is made behind the scenes. Isabel, do you have a favorite Call Hall ice cream flavor?
I do, Raina. It's actually Purple Pride. Hearing about all those desserts is making me so excited about Thanksgiving. That's all the time we have this week. Thanks for watching.
This is MHK All Day.